Hi Libra and Libra Rising. Here's your horoscope for December 2024. I'm astrologer Joseph Anthony. Okay, here we are at the end of 2024 and one hell of a ride, huh? Anyway, as we wind down the year, we have a bit of a slowdown taking place. And this is because Mercury is in retrograde right now. And by the 6th, Mars will be in retrograde. So we'll have these two planets once again in retrograde mode. So what does that mean? This is the third house of communication. You have Mercury retrograde in the third, which means talking to people from the past, ideas from the past, situations from the past. That all continues to resurface as we begin the month. But then when we have Mars going retrograde, our motivation slows down because Mars represents our motivation and drive. It's in Leo, so when Mars is in Leo, we want to be seen, we want to be heard, we want to look our best. But when it goes retrograde, it slows us down, we internalize a lot more, and we're not sure. So this is the kind of dynamics that we have for this month as we wind down the year. So this reading is for anyone who has a sun sign in Libra or a rising sign in Libra. This is a general sun sign reading based on tropical whole house system Western astrology. It's very basic, very general, because everyone's birth chart is different and everyone's birthday is different. But at least this gives you a little bit of an overview of what's going on. All right, so not only do we have that, we also have 2 new moons this month. That's right, 2 new moons. Now, ordinarily, they'd be considered a blue moon, and that's when 2 moons are in the same month, but this is going to be a black moon because of the time of the year that the second new moon takes place. It's not going to be able to be seen, in the sky because it's so low on the horizon. Anyway, we'll get to that later on. But as we start off the month, we have the first new moon in Sagittarius on the 1st right there. It's going to be at 9 degrees of Sagittarius. So wherever that is in your actual birth chart, that's the area you want to look at. And so this again suggests the third house of communication. So many of you are going to be thinking about traveling. Many of you are going to be thinking about expressing yourself. You're going to have all kinds of ideas, talking to neighbors, talking to friends, talking to associates. There's going to be so much communication here, especially from the past because Mercury is also retrograde. Now, your ruler Venus starts off the month in Capricorn in your 4th house. So maybe you're doing some socializing, remodeling at home. Maybe you're dealing with family dynamics. So that's going to be huge. But that's going to change right after the Mercury retrograde. But I'll get to that in a minute. But Mars goes retrograde in Leo on the 6th. Right there is a stationary position. Now, Mars is going to stay retrograde all the way until about the end of February. And it'll switch back from Leo into Cancer. Then it'll go back into the 10th house and has a lot to do with emotions and feelings and anything to do with the home life, things having to do with family dynamics. That'll all be in the works when Mars goes retrograde in the 10th house. And that'll be about January the 5th or 6th. Okay? But the problem here is that Mars will be opposing Pluto. See, Pluto just entered Aquarius right there in the 5th house. So as Mars makes its way back slowly, it'll be opposing Pluto, which means tension, irritation, frustration, inner turmoil. Okay, so I'm just giving you guys a heads up. Not trying to be negative. It's just the way the energy works. All right, so this Mars is going to give us some challenges, all of us. Okay, it doesn't matter what sign you are. It's going to give us a bit of a challenge. So we'll have to keep an eye on this guy. But on the 7th, this is when Venus enters Aquarius, right there. And right away, it smacks into or conjuncts powerful Pluto. So something about your relationships, something about your creativity, something about maybe your children, something about your family dynamics, something about your acquaintances and community is all going to be up for grabs because Venus in Aquarius does things in an unusual way. It attracts unusual people. It thinks outside the box. And when it comes to romance, it's strange. It's detached. It's, not doing things the normal way. And with Pluto there, this is power, destruction, transformation. And so we have this really strange alignment taking place on the 7th here, which is, I hate to say it, but it's kind of volatile. So this could be anything from your child just coming home and erupting and, or you and your lover just being on the outs, or a friend just kind of, losing their marbles. I mean, it could be anything, all right? But it's sudden transformation, sudden changes. Now, fortunately, that's not going to last too long. It'll probably last about a week or so. And then Venus will continue to move past, it'll go past Pluto, but it's going to run into, right there, Mars. It'll be opposing it. So there's a little bit of tension at the beginning of December that we need to keep an eye out for, okay? Now, Neptune goes direct on the 7th also in the evening. Not a big deal. It's an outer planet, and it takes so long to move. It's more of a subtle underlying change. And this has to do with imagination. It has to do with your work. It has to do with the 6th house, which has to do with your daily routine. So maybe you're changing things up. Maybe you need to leave a job. Maybe you're needing to improve your health. This is all on the table with this Neptune going direct. And Neptune and Saturn next year will leave this part of your chart and go into your 7th house. So it's going to change the dynamics quite a bit. So embrace the changes that are coming in this area and then going into your 7th house. Now, the full moon this month is going to be in Gemini on the 15th. Right there. It's going to be 23 degrees of Gemini. So wherever that is in your birth chart, you want to pay attention because it'll be opposing the moon and sun, of course, during a full moon, but it'll be squaring Neptune. So this has a lot to do with health. This has a lot to do with your job. This has a lot to do with your routine. This has a lot to do with caring for others. So maybe you're in a position where you need to care for another, or something or someone from the past resurfaces. Maybe a job. Maybe you have a job that, from the past that resurfaces. So this is going to be all in the works here. The full moon is all about communication. It's in the 9th house of higher learning. This could be a sudden travel or trip. And so this could be anything of that nature. Now, this moon is ruled by Mercury, which is still kind of in retrograde. It's getting ready to come out of retrograde. So it's a bit of a confusing time having to do with either health, work, or something to do with your daily routine that's going to be on the table. If it's not you, maybe it's somebody else, somebody that a friend. Maybe you have a pet that's not doing too well. The 6th house rules pets. And so, but there's a lot of communication here. Okay, so you need to keep an eye on that. We also have Mercury going retrograde later on in the day. And here we have it in Sagittarius right there. And so as Mercury starts to make its way direct over the course of the next couple of days, you'll get a little bit more clarity, a little bit more understanding of what's taking place. Might even motivate you because we have a trine to Mars here, which is a favorable alignment. And so you might express yourself to a friend about a current situation, or maybe they're helping you with something. A move, a job, a health matter, whatever it is, just, stay on top of it and see how it plays itself out in your own personal chart. Again, I have to be very general here because everyone's chart's different. We have the sun entering Capricorn this time of the year, which is kind of normal, right there in the 4th house around the 21st and 22nd. And so this has a lot to do with the home. It has a lot to do with feelings. It has a lot to do with the family dynamics. So being that this is probably around the holiday season, you're feeling more nostalgic, you want to be around loved ones, and maybe you're, fixing up your house. Maybe you're buying property. All of this is on the table this month, even though it's the end of the year. Not a lot of people buy homes at the end of the year, from what I would imagine, because of the holidays. But this is highlighting this 4th house of feelings and foundation and family. Okay, and it could bring you back to the past, going to a childhood memory or a place that you used to grow up, or live in. And so because the sun will be in conjuncting Mars, that's why I say that. Mars is in retrograde, so that could be a possibility. So here is the 2nd new moon of the month on December the 30th. It'll also be at 9 degrees of, this one will be 9 degrees of Capricorn this time. So wherever the 9 degrees is in your chart of Capricorn, that's the area that'll be lit up. So 4th house has to do with remodeling, something new coming in, new feelings, new realizations. And as I said, this is considered a black moon because when we look at the northern horizon, the sun is coming up so low on the horizon that we won't be able to see it. That's why it's called a black moon. So we're not going to see it. And so this has a lot to do with, hunkering down and basically trying to figure things out with regards to your home life or family dynamics or just coming to terms with your feelings. Maybe you're in a situation that you're like, I'm not sure, what I'm doing or where I'm going. And believe me, friends, this is going to be very important at this time. As I said at the beginning of the year, it's like we're winding down the year and there's so much uncertainty in the air. And it has a lot to do with Mars going retrograde, but all of this energy that's building up here, with the 2 moons and so on. So there's new opportunity, but it seems to be opportunity from the past. And so we have to keep an eye on that, okay? So do the best you can, and try not to obsess about things because we're going through a transformation, all right? So if you like this video and you want to know more, I do extended horoscopes each month now, something new that I'm doing here in my inner circle community. And as you can see here, I do weekly astrology. I do the monthly astrology. I'm also doing remote viewing. I'm teaching remote viewing, and I give people targets, and then we reveal the targets the following week or in 2 weeks. And there's a lot to do there and a lot of interaction with so many cool people. So if you think about it, consider joining the inner circle. It is a 7-day free trial, so you could join. If you don't like it, then, you don't have to, there's no obligation. But given the times that we're changing right now, I encourage you to join. We do Zoom calls every Sunday. People get to ask me questions. We interact. We go over people's charts. Whatever is going on, I teach astrology there. So there's a lot going on that you might benefit from. Anyway, there you have it. Have a great month. Do the best you can. And I will see you guys soon. Bye for now.